Ooh, 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 ooh. Welcome to the PHNX Daily Bet Show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Bet just $1 on any NFL game this week. You get $100 in free bets if either team scores a point. I'm here with the baby man, Johnny Venerable. Johnny.
I don't like that. I don't like that. That's not my new name.
I'm
First of all, with your setup right now, can I just say this? You have a nice collared shirt on, right?
Yeah.
You've got your hair kind of combed back, right?
No.
You came into the office today with a purpose. You look like you're going to 8th grade man practice, right? And that your mom wouldn't allow you to look schlubby for your big recital tonight. So I respect it right now.
Schlubby. That's a new one.
What do you?
Well, Johnny, you had yourself a good weekend college football wise.
Well.
So let's pull up your college football picks. All three of them, slapper, clapper, mappers, they hit. So
I don't know what that means, but I can tell you right now that when you watch this show, I will help make you money. We did a special edition. We might have to make it a regular thing. I don't know if this is how it's going to go, of a college football Saturday PHNX Daily Bet Show. And I went 3 for 3. Ho-hum, threw those together after some rigorous thoughts Saturday morning before we jumped on 9:45 before that 10 a.m. kickoff time. I wanted to take Michigan and the money line. I said it on the show. I didn't have the cojones to do it, but I said that they're easily going to cover this. They led the entire game. Kudos to Jim Harbaugh and company for getting that win. I also thought Florida would take care of business against Florida State, and Oregon would bounce back because they always do just enough to make you ask yourself, do they deserve to be in even after their 2 losses? So those were easy. You know, it's boring, but it's part of my life.
Yeah. So congratulations on that. I wasn't as fortunate on that college football Saturday. But yeah, we can pull those up really fast and then you can get them. So Clemson hit, U of A and Ohio State obviously did not. You know what I need to stop doing, Johnny? I need to stop fading you for the sake of fading you. And not because you're great at your job. You're good at your job. But it's mainly because I just like to fade you and I don't do any practicality in terms of looking at
yeah, like when you're like me and you hit over 60% of your bets, like a professional bettor typically does, right? Professional bettors in Vegas hit over 60% of their bets. That I'm probably closer to 70% this year, full transparency. So yeah, as a result, if you're fading that, then you're only hitting about 30% of the time, which would probably make you a big time fraud on this show. Exciting times for Jim Harbaugh ransom and for your boy, who is putting together quite the clinic this football season.
I think he does wear tighty whities. I will say that. I think the tighty whities
100%.
I think you do as well. This is what I looked like after that awful performance from Saturday's games.
Oh no! Look at that. That's actually my daughter and a goat she befriended at the Phoenix Zoo over the weekend, Saturday after I placed these bets. So my day went from bad real quick as we almost got salmonella from the zoo. Thankfully, they had a nice hand washing station. So yeah, that's our friend, goat friend. I don't know if we want to name him. Should we call him Betty? Betty, the PHNX Bets mascot, maybe?
Wow. Johnny, look at you little creative boy. I love it. Yeah, we'll call him Betty. Why not? Or her. We shouldn't misgender a goat. Let's not do that. Hi, Betty. Betty is they/them. She's
yes.
Fantastic.
Get the pronouns right, Shane.
They're fantastic. Well, let's get into what we think of this game. First of all, let me just preface our conversation by saying it's Russell Wilson's birthday today. So if that tells you anything, it tells you that the Seahawks are going to win this game.
If I got a birthday present from Sierra, I would go out and play well too, if you know what I mean. If you know what I'm getting at.
No, I don't. Can you elaborate?
Here are my picks. They're elite, per usual. Seahawks are going to win this game. I think Russell's this is his 3rd game back. Bounce back performance. I don't think it's going to be a big offensive explosion, but I think he plays mistake-free football against a Washington team they beat Tampa. That's a big emotional win for them. They're fraudulent. I think the under hits because Taylor Heineke is trash, and Seattle's defense has been playing better as of late. Not great. They weren't good against Colt McCoy. I think they'll rally for this game, even though it's on the road. So I like the under. I don't root for unders. It's not something I typically do. Diving into the point totals for both teams, and I'm like, if I'm going to do it, it's going to be this game.
Yeah, look, Seattle has 13 points in the last 2 games, 13 points in one game, 0 in the other.
Yeah,
Russell Wilson has 1 touchdown in his last 19 possessions, I believe. That finger isn't right, so that worries me a tad. But as everybody knows, Russell Wilson is one of the hardest working people in the world, especially with rehabilitation. So I would assume it's only going to get better from here. The Seahawks still have playoff hopes. It's still possible for this team to make the playoffs. If they win this game, they're officially in the hunt in those graphics that they always show. So they can either be 1 game back with a win of a wild card spot, or they can have the same record as the Jets with a loss. So that shows you exactly what's going on in the bottom of the NFC right now. Look, Taylor, I disagree with you on the Taylor Heineke thing. He is an underrated quarterback right now. He has the highest expected completion percentage in the NFL. His EPA,
what the hell does that even mean? That sounds made up. That doesn't mean anything.
His EPA per pass is up there. I think it's number 1 in the past 3 weeks. This offense is moving the ball, but WFT also has the 31st worst or the 31st best. So the second to worst defense in the NFL right now. They're terrible. It's going to be, and usually when you have 2 terrible defenses, you go with the best quarterback. So are you expecting Russell Wilson to look better, or are you expecting Taylor Heineke to outduel him? I think Russell Wilson's going to have the edge tonight. I think he does end up looking better in this game. So that's why both of us are going with Seahawks -1 and also the under 47.5. Yeah, I think it's going to be a gross one. I don't really know what to expect. Johnny, I didn't tail you, just so you know. I put these bets in last night on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. I did. I can show you the receipts after the show. So if you want to put some bets in early before Johnny gives you them, which is what I tend to do, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. Use that promo code PHNX when you sign up. If you bet just $1 on this game or any other NFL game this week and either team scores a point, you get $100 in free bets this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Johnny's rocking the merch. He's also rocking a subpar hairdo today, I would say.
What? What? That's hurtful. There's a ton of product in this head. I had to do Cardinals this morning, the A show, before jumping onto this dumpster fire, and I put some product in my hair. It's still looking good. Ma'am.
That was a perfect sound effect for that. But yeah, guys, if you haven't yet, download it. Safe, secure, it's reliable. Maybe you can get some better hair product than Johnny has. That's 21 plus, Arizona only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Sorry, John. We got some tasty props for you tonight. I'm a fan of this game prop wise. I have some money tied up in many places. We'll go with Johnny's first, or we'll go with mine, or we'll go Johnny's first. Johnny, you got Terry McLaurin as a first touchdown scorer tonight, huh?
Yeah, Scary Terry had the best odds to score the first TD tonight. I do think that Taylor Heineke does know how to throw the ball vertically. And listen, I am a first touchdown fiend. I've been hot lately. There weren't a lot of appetizing numbers for this game in terms of the best return value for your dollar amount. Scary Terry is a great player. I think Washington is able to get the ball first. Seattle's front 7 is fine. They can stop the run adequately, but their pass defense is terrible. Their DBs are terrible. I think there's a better than good chance that could hit. And then Russell Wilson, like, get it together, bro. Are you a top 5 quarterback or not? If your finger's good enough to play, then you need to perform. And it's not for lack of legitimate receiving options. 248.5 passing yards, -15. If you want to parlay those 2 puppies together, could be a nice payout for you. And that's something, especially too, if the Scary Terry number hits, it's going to be actively be able to root for, especially if Seattle's from behind and they're forced to throw.
Yeah, I like that take on Terry McLaurin. I think he has a big game. They won't be able to run the ball very much with J.D. McKissick and Antonio Gibson tonight. I think I see a lot of swing passes and checkdowns out of that, especially because, the Seahawks, I think their rush defense is 9th in the DVOA. So they're solid, and that pass defense is just egregious, and they're banged up. They activated 2 secondaries or 2 defensive backs off of the practice squad today.
Not great.
Where they're at. I didn't recognize either of those names. And I agree with what you say about Russell Wilson's and his wide receivers. Tyler Lockett, this has to be the game where he does something, because he's been so quiet this year. And DK Metcalf has also not been incredible. I mean, he hasn't had a game over six receptions this year. So I expect to see more from both of those names. And that brings me into my props tonight. It's not Lockett and it's not DK Metcalf. It's Gerald Everett. Only one touchdown on the year. That's why that number is so high. It's a nice sprinkle, nice little $5, $10 sprinkle on that plus 2,200 number for the first.
I don't hate that.
He's been targeted a ton in the last couple of games. He had a pretty big game 2 weeks ago against the Packers, even though they weren't able to get into the end zone. So I could definitely see him being a nice red zone target for Russell Wilson if they get into the red zone on their first drive. I also completely going against what I said about the rushing game. 18.5 is a really small margin of yards. And this rushing defense is good, but it also gives up some big plays. So I could see J.D. McKissic sneaking to 16 yards on one play and then having 3 carries for 2 more yards or 3 more yards rather to get to that 19 number. So I like that over rushing yard total today. But yeah, this game's going to be strange. I don't know what to expect. Not a lot of other things to say rather than we just got to see if Russell Wilson's fingy is okay.
I just like, and I said this on Cardinals earlier, I like the NFC West to kind of eat each other. So I am rooting for Seattle to play competitive and win so that they beat up on the Rams and the Niners don't get hope that there's some contender suddenly. The Cardinals are the class of this division, but it would not be in the worst thing in the world for the Seahawks to get hot because I think the Rams are teetering on the brink of complete disarray and dysfunction. And a good Russell Wilson-led team in the winter months of the season that does not affect the Cardinals in any way is a good thing.
What did you think of that Packers-Rams game last night?
I think the Green Bay Packers are the class of the NFC right now. I know they've lost one extra game. They do not lose that game in Kansas City if Aaron Rodgers plays. They've beaten the Cardinals heads up. Again, if we have to go, we meaning the Cardinals, into Lambeau in January, so be it. We would have taken that before the season. You sign up for that. I still think the Cardinals can get the bye. Don't get me wrong. But it's all about winning the division right now. I want the Rams dead, buried. I want that franchise just to be a complete sham. They went all in for this season. That's a joke. So the more losses they can accumulate, the better. I felt that way. I told you that way yesterday morning. I still feel that way. So Packers, Matt LaFleur, that's an elite operation they have right now. And if the Cardinals want to be at that level, then we'll test that litmus test in January. But right now it's about winning the NFC West.
Yeah, I think they really need to obviously win the NFC West, but it's going to be huge for the Cardinals to get that number 1 spot in the NFC because I don't want to see them playing in Green Bay come playoff.
I think they'll have to go undefeated to get that. I don't think they can lose another game. If you look at Tampa and Green Bay's schedule, it's a lot of cupcakes. Their divisions are terrible. Maybe the Cardinals can go 5-1 and get it, but man, it's going to be hard.
Last thing before we get out of here, did you see what Davante Adams had to say to Odell Beckham last night?
I did not.
So Odell, obviously his top 2 before he chose the Rams. The other one was the Packers. And Odell had that nice route he ran against what's that corner's name? He had a great game last night. The corners for the Packers are
Rasul Douglas, former Cardinal.
Rasul Douglas and Eric Stokes are playing out of their minds right now, and it's scary. But he beat Rasul Douglas, scored that touchdown. Was feeling high on himself, and thought he was at the same level as Davante Adams. So after the game, he went over to Davante Adams and asked for a jersey swap. Davante declined and said, why don't you go ask for Cooper Kupp's jersey because you want to be with them so bad. So that was fun. Davante Adams is
love that shade.
Yeah.
First of all, that Odell Beckham touchdown throwaway, who gives a shit? Yeah. They're irrelevant. I love it so much.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, pleasure as always. Monday through Friday, every day at noon, right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. If you're listening on audio, leave a nice review, share with your friends. And if you're watching this, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, put your notifications on. You can follow me at Shane Deeve on Twitter. You can follow Johnny at Johnny Vanderwall on Twitter. You can follow PHNX Daily Bets at PHNX_bets. Follow PHNX Sports across all socials, and we'll see you here tomorrow at noon. Thanks again, and peace.